are back.
Hey, what's going on? This is Sunshine.
And this is E.
Hey, what's going on?
We are here. We're going to do a reaction video on
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle thinks... What?
Thinks O.J. Simpson might be chasing him. You know, when they first came up, I seen Dave Chappelle. I thought it was going to be, I think, what's that? The one he had, 428, 486, or whatever. What was it? I forgot the numbers, but yeah. So I thought that was what he. But that actually was really. I watched some of the tapes, and they were saying basically it wasn't a comedy. It was a get something off your chest type thing. But this is something different. So
Netflix is a joke.
Netflix. Oh, okay. Okay.
So this played on Netflix or something?
I would imagine so. It may be, because he does. I think he has some kind of contract or something with Netflix. So
okay.
I believe.
Right.
Y'all can straighten us out if we don't.
Yeah. I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Right.
But before we get started, we want you all to hit that like button.
Right.
All right, here we go.
Doesn't it bring back good memories? I forgot how like just how polarizing that O.J. case was. And you know, I've met O.J. Simpson on 4 different occasions in my life. And before the end of the show, I will tell you about each of those occasions. The first time I met O.J. Simpson, I was in Santa Monica. Santa Monica? Yeah. I can't believe a black dude was like, Santa Monica. He was the last niggas I expected to say that. See your shoes. Got some Vans on, niggas. Santa Monica. At the time, I was 18. I had done a show. And then a guy from the club came up and was like, hey, O.J. Simpson's here, and he said he wants to meet you. I said, what? Fuck yeah. I ran down the steps, and O.J. was down there. He's like, hey, yo, man, how are you? It's very good to meet you. And you're doing really good work, and I hope good things happen for you in your life. I was like, man, thanks, Mr. Juice. Standing beside him, well, I don't know the nice way to say this, his soon-to-be slain wife. Ladies and gentlemen, man the fuck up or you're not going to make it through the end of this shit. She's dead. You already know. We know what happened. We don't know who did it, but we know what happened. I should tell you that woman was very nice to me. She actually embraced me. She said, I think you're adorable. And she hugged me. She goes, good luck to you. And she held me for a long time. And I whispered in her ear, bitch, are you trying to get us both killed? I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. But
yeah, you are.
That was the first time in a nutshell. The second time I met O.J. Simpson. Right after the trial of the century, there I was, now a young man of probably 23. O.J. Simpson was the most famous or infamous face on planet Earth. I was in a restaurant in Beverly Hills with my agents. I wasn't alone in the restaurant, but I was alone. I was the only black person in the restaurant. And in the 90s, that felt very uncomfortable. Now I tend to enjoy it at this age. I was having dinner with my agent, celebrating a deal that they told me was lucrative, but I later learned fucking sucked. And suddenly, a group of women walked by. Every race was in that group. Black, white, Asian, Latina, white, and white again. They were all gorgeous. I watched them walk by. Then, I saw a familiar face. Al Collins, the man from the infamous Bronco chase, walked by and embraced one of the women, and they walked towards the door. Couldn't believe what I saw. And then, close behind him, was O.J. Simpson, newly released from jail. The restaurant fell still. I was shocked. I didn't mean to say it out loud, but it just came out. OJ. Stop. Turned around to see who said it. Saw my black face and correctly assumed it was me. I was sitting in the corner of the booth. He leaned over all the white people I was having dinner with, shook my hand. How are you, young man? He looked in my eyes, and I could see in his eyes that he didn't remember meeting me the first time. And then he walked away. And I looked back at my agents, and all of them had nothing short of disgust on their faces. And the only one with the courage to voice their disgust was a woman named Sharon, who used to represent me. How could you, she said. How could you shake hands with that murderer? I said, Sharon, with all due respect, that murderer ran for over 11,000 yards.
Ran for 11,000 yards.
And he was acquitted, so, you know. Glove didn't fit. Glove didn't fit. Get over yourself. Third time I met O.J. Simpson. Third time I met O.J. Simpson, I was doing great in life. I just finished the second season of Chappelle Show. Man, those were good days. I was playing a comedy club in Miami, the Improv. I don't know if you've ever been, but if you have, you'd know. The door for the green room is right on the stage. Can you imagine such a thing? If I walked out of the door of the green room, bam, I was just right here, right from the dressing room. And I did that. I walked out, and the whole crowd was like, hooray! And I looked, ma'am, as close as you are to me, I saw him as soon as I came out, the juice. And I saw recognition in his eyes, and it filled me with pride that he knew who I was. I didn't acknowledge his presence because it was a white audience, and I didn't want to start a panic. But I did my show. The show went great. I said, good night, everyone. They all said, yay! And I didn't say nothing to OJ, but I just gave him the signal, let him know I knew he was there. And I walked into the green room, and OJ was already in there. I was like, how the fuck is this possible? I was scared. And then my friends came in, and we all started talking. We sat down on the couch, and I'm just telling you what I saw with my own eyes. You can believe me or not believe me. But in my experience, O.J. Simpson, one of the nicest men I've ever met. He was nice to me. He was nice to my friends. The conversation was filled with warmth and levity, humor, and wisdom. We talked for 90 minutes, and then suddenly the juice said, you know what? I've got to be going. But it's good to see you again, and I'm glad things went so well. I said, thanks, Juice. And my friend said, yeah, goodbye, Mr. Juice. They're new to the game. He said, no, thank you for your hospitality. Good night, guys. And we said, good night. And he just walked out of the room. And as soon as the door closed, we all looked at each other like, that nigga did that shit. I feel like murder in the room. Wait. I forgot. The fourth time I met O.J. Simpson. The fourth time is not the funniest time, but it was the last time I'd see the juice. For some reason, I was at the Kentucky Derby. It's a very long story. This is right after I quit Chappelle Show in spectacular fashion. There was a party hosted by Michael Jordan, and every athlete I've ever admired was in that room. Yes. And then I saw a familiar face by the bar, standing there, drinking alone. It was Chris Tucker. Now, you have to remember, at this time, we were both technically missing. And we went over and we're talking with one another, and motherfuckers were amazed to see us together. Seeing me and Chris Tucker at that point were would be like seeing Bigfoot riding a unicorn. You wouldn't believe that's what you were saying. And then, through all the gawkers, a familiar face pushed through the crowd. Here he was again. The juice. He had his camera ready. He was like, Dave, Chris, good to see you guys. Hey, come on, guys. Let's all get together for a picture. And at the same time, me and Chris were like, no. Sorry, Juice, my career is too flimsy to survive a picture with you. That's the end.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, I never really listen. I know a lot of people like Dave Chappelle. I've never really listened to his comedy. You know, this was pretty mild. I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, I never really got into him that much, so well, I guess we're gonna see.
Yeah, he's kind of old school, new school. I see, because like this act he just did now was a lot of old school stuff, set up, storytelling, you know, build up to the punchline type stuff. So so it's even listen to this. It kind of tells you a little bit about celebrities, how you're not really aware of what type of person that person really, you know, are. Like, because he's talking about OJ, everybody thought him of one way, and whether you thought he did it or not, there's some truths that came out that he admit to that you was like, wow, this cat did this. You know, you're like, you couldn't believe. So, and then with Dave Chappelle, if you ever watch, Dave Chappelle is one. Downing Jr., the one that played, he played he played a lot. He's played in Back to School with Ronnie Dangerfield. He played a lot of stuff, but he's a seasoned actor. And also with Dave Chappelle, there's some others like the guy from Jefferson, Sherman Hemsley. If you watch these guys do interviews, but you watch their performance, you see how talented they are, because when they do interviews,
totally different. Yeah,
I mean, it's like they're choppy. They really don't know what they're doing. They kind of look like they're wacky out their mind. But when it it was weird, because when it comes to their performances are just so smooth. So that's how professional a lot of guys are. There's a lot of guys that they said were acting and were drunk the whole time or high the whole time. You would never know because they were that talented. You know. So, but Dave Chappelle, so he was one that I didn't think that he would actually get to his level. I thought he was like those comedians that were, you know, like in your neighborhood, said, man, you're funny, you ought to go and just do that. Yeah. That's how I thought he was going to start off. But then when I watched him do interviews, I watched some of his other stand-up, then you really, and then especially when he started doing his show, you see the talent that he has. He's a real talented guy. Yeah,
I like to go back and watch. I mean, like I said, I never really listened or watched any of his stuff before, and I just did not think that I would be a fan. But I don't know, things have come around. I feel a little differently now. I do want to kind of get to listen to some of his stuff to see, you know, how he was as a comedian, because if someone's asked me, I don't know.
He's a top comedian, and like I said, I think the one of his best character, well, not necessarily character, but his best talent is that he's able to mix the old type comedy with the new type comedy. He's able to do it all. So you even can see some of the crowd. There was a diverse crowd. I mean, you know, so it wasn't, you know, so he's able to touch a lot of people or make a lot of people laugh. So I don't know how this latest thing goes off with some people, but you know, but his stuff, his material all up to that. Was
it him that left the States on time? Or?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. That was the time when he seen Chris Tucker, and Chris Tucker kind of fell off, and Chris Tucker was going through a religious thing, didn't want to curse anymore. So it was all around the same time. So that's why he said when they seen them two together, they were kind of like missing in action at the time. And so that was
I had a coworker that actually worked. I know this is not about Chris Tucker, but a coworker that grew up down the street from him, and she said that was exactly how he was.
Was that right?
When they were coming up, and I was like, really? She said, yeah, he was down to earth, but that he what you see is how he was always had been. So yeah, so a lot of times probably a lot of these comedians probably were too. I mean, you know, like you said, someone said, oh, you ought to get into So,
right. A lot of newer comics, if you look at them and watch the interviews, watch from late night shows. A lot of new ones I noticed they keep their going during interviews or whatever. It's like they're still trying to. If you like to watch a lot of old school, you could tell this was their profession. So when they got in the interviews, it was like strictly business, and you know, I mean, they still had humor in and out, but this essentially was like, this is my profession, my career, and that's how they put it down. With more new comedians, it's a way of life, their style of living, and they kind of always on. So
yeah.
We want to hear your comments, see what you think about Dave Chappelle, about O.J. Simpson and the juice. But but make sure you like. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to bring this up.
Okay.
So where were you when you got the news of the trial? Do you remember? I know we were married, but
yeah, I was at work at the time. I think when it really, because it was kind of a multiple different events when it came to the O.J. Simpson trial. It was the slow speed chase. Then you had the.
Speaking of the chase, that's when our middle child. I had just delivered. We was in the room.
Right.
And you were standing there and facing me, and I was watching the TV, and I was like, "What is this?" So our son was actually born on the day of the chase.
So I remember that day distinctly. So you know that, and then the arrest when he turned himself in. So there's a lot of different events with his but I remember that most, of course, because our son was born. But I remember that more distinctly. But I don't know. I mean, it's that trial. I mean, you can go on and on about that because it picked out a lot of emotions, a lot of reactions. So
I also was in the office building where we was all in the cafeteria, and everybody was coming downstairs because that's where the TV was. So we was all hovered around. And
when you made the decision, I think
when they the trial decision.
I think I was at home at the time, but that was but. We want to hear what you have to say and what you think. And other than that, if you could just like, subscribe, hit the notification button. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I don't have anything else. Thanks for listening to Sunshine and E.